Thank you. And right here, right now, right where I am, right where you are, I invite you to join me in prayer. And let's just close our eyes. My heart goes deeper, my soul goes deeper into my God. Beautiful words to open us up, to let go of anything that is moving within you right now so that we can be open to this presence, to this feeling of God that is within. And as we connect to this moment, as we connect to each other in this light and love, let's just allow ourselves to feel that. Feel that energy. Feel the light moving all through us, inspiring us, filling us, guiding us. Feel the love. Feel our hearts open with this energy. It's unifying, harmonizing, uniting energy. And take this light and love that is filling each and every one of us right here, right now, and feel it moving out into this community, this sacred, spiritual community, uplifting and holding each one in light and love. See this energy go out into our community, into our country, all the areas that are struggling now with all the different weather systems, any of the other challenges that are coming across this country, holding all people, all beings in this light and love. Move this energy out into our world, especially for those that are struggling with pain, war, hunger, disease. Holding all of our world leaders in this light of wisdom and truth and in the love of empathy and compassion, and our planet Earth in this light and love as well. And so it is, amen. And what we are a prayer ministry, that's how we began, that's what we're about. And with that in mind, what I want to do is just invite all of you, if you have a prayer request, you can send it to us, and we have a really active, really powerful prayer ministry where we will write prayers for you, send them to you, hold you in that prayer vigil, and then we go on and send your prayer requests to Silent Unity, where they are continued to be held in prayer 24/7 for 30 more days. So please use us. We love praying here at Unity Church of Raleigh. And with that in mind, we also have some prayer chaplains that are all prayed up. They were in the chapel meditating right prior to the service, so I know that they're all prayed up. And I'm going to ask those of you that are here today that are available to be prayer chaplains, please raise your hand. We have Betty and Clara, Nisha, Peggy, and Mary. Okay, so we have, I'm going to just share with you, those are some powerful prayer chaplains. And if there's just something that is moving in your heart where you just want to, I'm going to put it this way, find the divine idea behind the challenge. Find that divine idea behind the challenge. That's what they will do with you. They will be able to remind you of your divine nature. And actually, that's a great point to just mention, because living from the divine essence that we are is our theme for this year. Living from my divine essence. And so what we're going to be doing during the course of this year is exploring what does that even mean. I think from an intellectual place, most of us kind of get it. We here in Unity have been affirming for a long time that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So that would imply to me that I need to be in constant contact with this divine essence that I am. But one of the things that I want us to look at is how do we actually do that? What are our practices? How are we doing it? What are some of the things that we can expand and go deeper into knowing? One of the things that will be coming up actually as to tie in with this is a series that I'm going to start not next week, but the following one, based on Richard Rohr's book, Immortal Diamond. And that is about discovering our true self with a capital T. And we make that distinction here often with the small self and the large self, or the false self is how the language he uses, the false self and the true self. But unless we start to explore these ideas together, this is the journey that we take. And in fact, one of the things we're going to be doing is looking at meditation all through the course of the year, starting today. This is our first Sunday. So on the first Sunday of each month, we're going to be delving into meditation, because prayer, meditation, the silence, these are the tools. This is the vehicle for finding and living from this divine essence. So I'm kind of excited about this journey this year, because we talked about, the endings, and now this is a place where we get to try on new ideas, explore what is our purpose here? Who have we come here to be? What is this journey all about anyway? So those are the things that I'm hoping that we get to explore together, touch on, see what comes up for us as individuals and as a spiritual community, as a church. So I'm looking forward to this journey together, and I hope you are too. And with this, I also want to just welcome everybody today. Do we have any new visitors here for the first time, or coming back after a while? No, nobody new. We're all regulars, right? We come here all the time. So it is good to see everyone here. It's kind of a cold morning, so I'm glad you all got out and bundled up and got here to be a part of this service. And on that note, I'm going to just continue to add to something that's been kind of just the thoughts that I share with you. This is kind of who I am. I just share with you everything that's been kind of like rolling through my head at different times. And one of them is about spiritual community. And I talk about that, and I said, also just in the theme that we have for this year, who are we here to be, individually and collectively, as a spiritual community. And I think that's one of the things for us we can kind of talk about and explore together is, what does that mean to you? How do we show up in, why come together? Sometimes it's important to be together, not just to be filled separately, but also to be able to be lifted, to be able to be there for somebody else who may be in a place where they just need our prayer chaplains, where they just need somebody to put their arm around them and say, I see you, I hear you, I love you. So part to me of the spiritual journey is what happens within me and how that moves out from me as well. And with that, we're going to have our platform person, Mary.
Thank you, Ellen. Good morning. Good morning. It's nice to be here with all of you today. Welcome. Let us set our intention by stating together our statement of faith. There is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life and affairs, God the good. And now we'll welcome our spiritual community voice this morning, Peggy King.
Hello.
Hello, everyone here and out there that are sharing this moment with me. I was asked to talk about meditation, and meditation it is personal. It can be used also in the collective as we meditate together. Well, I thought I had it all written up, and I didn't. I left it at home. But anyway, it's an easy subject because if meditation is something that you practice, it's not something you forget. You may forget the paper, you may forget all the tools and bongs and sound, but you don't forget. One thing you learn is that you can meditate, and I have learned that I can meditate anywhere at any time. I can walk, I can wash dishes, I can take a shower, I can put my clothes. Meditation is a part of my life. I discovered meditation back in 1983 or 4. Long story short, very short, I was a person in my life that was not well mentally because of my childhood, okay? I've come a long way. And the reason why is because someone introduced me to meditation. And to be truthful, I was put on medication. I had all the DBBs and all the things you can think of was wrong with me. So I started getting these side effects and all, and then I was told that I didn't have to do that and that I can learn meditation. Well, it started off real small, and then I started joining groups like Barron and I went into them, and I was with them for a few years, and of course they do meditation. Then I started going to a seminary with James Twyman, and he was about meditation. And so as you go through meditation, you grow with your meditation. And that is also individual. It was times I did not do it every day. I do now, but I did not do it every day. Meditation saved my life. I am on no medication of any. There is nothing that meditation to me as an individual cannot cure. High blood pressure, stress, cholesterol. Meditation is the pill. That's the one you take. And it's one of those that you have to take every day, constantly, for you to get no side effects. Well, the side effects is happiness and joy and peace. Those are the side effects that no other medication can give you. Until this day, when I go in and I'm having a stressful day or whatever, I can go into myself, where my divinity is, where God is, and I can get that medication. And it does, there's no doubt. And if I don't do it, it's no biggie, but you will run to it eventually, because you'll find out that's what's missing. That's what I haven't done. And then you can be guided on what kind of meditation, when you can, and you'll like it so much, it'll be, you can't even overdose on it. You just do it, and you learn to live with it. And I am so grateful and so glad that I know that God, the God that I serve and love, is within me. God is me, and I am him, or it or she. I just love it, and I advise everybody to take a dose of meditation.
Thank you, Peggy. That was beautiful. Thanks for sharing. So we all know what the key is, right? So now let's have some music from the AHA Band. Today we have Greg, Alan, Susan, and Peggy.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I never played it today.
Okay, we're going to figure out what's next here in a minute. Okay, this is one of my chants. And this is specifically for meditation. Please come over me. I've done all I can do. What may come will come. I leave the rest to you. Please come over me. I've done all I can do. What may come will come. I leave the rest to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. That was absolutely beautiful. And thank you, Peggy. I loved your enthusiasm. I loved your journey. And I love that you are able to share that with us. And that's one of the things we're going to get to experience also on this journey of meditation, because that's really what we'll call it. It's a journey of meditation that we're going to be taking together. We went through the 12 powers last year. This year it's going to be meditation. And one of the things we'll do is have somebody here sharing with us the times we do these talks about their journey, because there are so many ways to meditate, right? We know that. There are so many ways to meditate, and I love that Peggy said it's personal, because it is. And each one of us resonates and is drawn to different ways, and sometimes different ways at different times in your life. You know, I can share with you that I was a runner for many years, and I had wonderful meditative experiences running. And now my knees don't allow me to run anymore, and I've learned to do other things in the quiet, just sitting. So at different times in our life, we are called to meditate in certain ways. I've gone to chanting, I've gone and sat with a guru where we did Om. So that's kind of the experience I want to bring to us, is let's just have fun with this. Let's get to kind of not just talk about meditation. That's one of the things that we're going to do in this series. We're not just going to talk about meditation. We are going to put on and experience a lot of different types of meditations, which will include the chanting, which will include perhaps walking. And if we can't walk, maybe we will do a labyrinth with our fingers. I'm not sure. We're gonna explore the Eastern, the Western, the contemporary, and we're going to start right at our foundation. We are going to start today by exploring what Charles and Myrtle Fillmore talked about with meditation. So I wanted to start there because we are unity, right? And we know and talk all the time about prayer and meditation and the silence. That's kind of the unity message, right? We need to do prayer, meditation, and silence. So I thought, why not start right there? Why not start and look at what does that mean? Are we all on the same page? And one of the things that I do want to start out saying is that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, they began this journey. It was called New Thought, or it could have been called Higher Thought. It's a little different than what we talk about when we say New Age, because it was really all about looking at a variety of different ancient truths. And one of the things that Charles Fillmore, in particular, he was an adventurer. He became excited about how to experience all of these different ways. And so this was a whole movement with new ideas about God not being out there, but being within, new ideas about the fact that we have this divine essence within us. We are actually this expression of God, and therefore that is where our power comes from. These were new ideas at that time. That's why it was called New Thought. That's why it was called New Thought. Some of those thoughts were very Eastern, so it wasn't that there wasn't a precedent for these ideas. But in this community at that time, which was the late 1800s, this whole idea had Ernest Holmes, which we know from Science of Mind. It had Emily Cady, Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. There were a lot of Emerson. There was a lot of people that we still look to, to be inspired, right? And I think a lot of these ideas we're seeing as contemporary now, and that's like 100 years later. These ideas have come to fruition. They've become norm. They're not so surprisingly unusual. But I think it's also important because Charles Fillmore called himself a truth student. A truth student. He was looking, and he said you can find truth through all of the ancient wisdoms. And yet he also he considered himself practical Christianity. So he took the Bible and worked with the metaphysical ideas, which was also part of the New Thought movement, looking at these things not literally, but really like, what was that internal message? When we talk about spiritual journey, we always say, we're going to move out of what's happening out here and drop into our inner world. And that is what the metaphysical approach to the Bible and all of these readings offered us. So that is where I want to start with meditation. And I'm going to start by giving you a quote from Charles Fillmore from The Revealing Word. And he says that the practice of meditation is continuous contemplative thought. To dwell mentally on anything, realizing the reality of the absolute with a capital A. A steady effort of the mind to know God. So here he's being very clear, and he's saying this, and actually this is kind of what yoga talks about, which is unity and singleness of purpose. That's a quote, though, also that we can find in the Bible by Jesus with the single eye, right? If you see with your single eye. And that's what he's talking about here. He's talking about that meditation takes us out of our story and drops us into a contemplative thought. So Charles and Myrtle relied on affirmations. That would be their comfort level of that chanting that we talked about, or any of these ideas that can lead us into a contemplative thought, and to dwell on this. And that how, excuse me, that's how we realize the absolute, and the absolute with a capital A is we realize God, the presence of God. Meditation is simply connecting with the presence of God, and it's about oneness. And that is the common denominator, even in the Eastern ideas that preceded what we're talking about with the Fillmores. Myrtle Fillmore, in her healing letters, writes about the silence as the place where the soul may gather sustaining power and restoring life. Isn't that beautiful? This is what she's talking about with meditation, the silence. It's the place where the soul, it's that inner divine essence. That's the soul. That's what we're talking about. It's our true self, where it may gather sustaining power. That's how we live from our divine essence. We go into this silence, and that is when this sustaining power is released and restores us and renews us and revitalizes us. And we certainly heard that, I think, in Peggy's experience of meditation so beautifully. I could hear the excitement and the energy that she experienced with meditation. And so did they, because this was the foundation of every teaching in unity. It was prayer, meditation, and the silence. In fact, it was about any time that Charles or Myrtle were teaching a class, and remember, this started as a movement, part of the New Thought movement. It wasn't started as a church, and it was a teaching ministry. They loved teaching, but they also, and this is a little different than what was typically done in religious circles at that time, because traditionally at that time, when you went to learn something, you learned what the church wanted you, the doctrine, the belief system, and it was important for you to know what they were teaching. And Charles turned that upside down too, because he said, truth doesn't mean anything if it just is something that you absorb in your mind. You have to experience it. You have to try it on. You have to see, is this resonating for me? And it was saying, find that truth within yourself. That's the experience that Charles did, because before he wrote about anything, he practiced it. He wrote about his experience in that journey, and that's what he's inviting us all to do, and that's why he called himself a truth student. So meditation is just becoming still. Meditation is becoming quiet. Now that's not always easy, right? Who here has ever sat down to meditate and your mind didn't join the body? Right? Okay, I can say that. In fact, I'm going to share with you just right now, very quickly, because I have to be a little careful of time. I have a long meditation for us to experience, so I've got to stay focused here. But I do want to share with you that like Peggy, I've been a very, very long time meditator, and I've had all sorts of different experiences along the way, which have been exciting and fun. And then just this last year, 2022, in the first half of the year, as most of you know, my husband was struggling with a health issue. And there was, we had just started our holistic wellness center, and I was working with the church and taking him to doctor after doctor after doctor and all these challenges and stuff. And I would sometimes go to sit down to meditate, and I couldn't focus. Just what I learned, because then we did a class on Brene Brown, and the word that came up, because she had all these different emotions, overwhelmed. And they said, when you're overwhelmed, you cannot focus. And I said, oh, there it is. I identify with overwhelmed. So, but I sat down anyway, because this is what I was used to doing after all these years. And sometimes all I could do was sit and try to focus on a reading. And that was it. So I think really what I'm trying to share with you is that meditation is a practice. And we can do this practice, which is so important to know, in so many different ways. I think it's like playing the piano, right? If you practice playing the piano, there probably are days when, if I could talk to Susan and anybody else over there that is a piano player, there's probably days when you sit down and you don't want to play the piano. You're not in the mood to practice, right? But we know that when we practice and practice and practice, that's when the music comes beautifully. That's when things soar. That allows you to be able to participate with other musicians because you've refined your skill. And that is what a practice of meditation is also. So that sometimes, even if you're not feeling right, you can still play something. And just by sitting in those moments, I recognized that I was struggling, but I didn't struggle with that. I just said, oh, I can't seem to focus. Maybe I can read something. This is the acceptance, allowing whatever is happening to be there, but you still do your practice. And so just want to quickly touch on this idea, because Charles and Myrtle always talk about prayer, meditation, and the silence. So somebody might say, what is the difference between prayer and meditation, right? Because we're talking here about, maybe using affirmations and how do we get into the silence? What is the silence? So prayer, these all come from Charles Fillmore. Prayer is communion between God and man. Prayer is the most highly accelerated mind action known. It steps up mental action until man's consciousness synchronizes with the Christ mind. I want to stop on that one and just quickly say what he's really talking about is using these affirmations, because he's talking about energy and vibration. Charles was very scientific. He loved exploring. And so what he's talking about here with the highly accelerated mind action is higher vibration, because emotions have levels of energy, and the lower levels of energy are the ones that are shame, grief, sadness. It's a lower vibration. The higher accelerated mind action he's talking about is God and I are one. God is absolute good. I of myself can do nothing, but with God I can do everything. When we start to think on these accelerated mind actions, they lift. That's how it works. So they start to lift us. If we've been stuck in this lower vibration, this is what pulls us up. That's the accelerated mind action that he's talking about. And he's talking about that then it synchronizes with the Christ mind, because what is the Christ mind? It is the high. That's what we said, absolute. The true self with a capital T. So we're talking energetically right now. We're talking vibrationally at a higher place. So that is what he's talking about with prayer. Prayer is more than supplication. And I think this is important to add here because, so many times traditional Christianity has been focused on praying to God to fix the situation, to come down, to rescue, to save, to fix. In fact, to save has been the theme, right? Why did Jesus come in traditional Christianity? Jesus came to save man, salvation. And we kind of think a little differently about that, right? Right? That we do if we've studied unity things, that the unity idea, Charles's idea, is that sin is simply error thought. That Jesus came with a new consciousness to share with us, a consciousness of oneness, of exactly what meditation is. Go into your chamber and shut the door, shut out all the distractions, shut out your activity of the mind, and go into the silence. That Jesus, this is salvation. This is salvation. It's not waiting for a God up here to come down and lift me up. I have this power within me, an accelerated mind action. I can vibrate up myself. But I have to do a practice. And when I say vibrate up myself, what I'm really talking about, again, is energetically, because emotions, we are emotional beings, we're structured with emotion, and what we have discovered in this process of meditation, in this process of understanding our oneness, is that I can connect with this power and energy within me. And that's my journey. And it is an affirmation of truth that it eternally exists. And it's coming into consciousness as I do this practice. So all of this is about what prayer is. Prayer is not about out there. Prayer is about using affirmations to raise our vibration, using denials. If we're talking about energy, denial is simply saying, I release and let go. This power has no hold over me anymore. Breathe it out, let it go. And then we open up to an affirmation. That's the prayer practice. So what is the silence? What is the silence? The silence is a meditative state of prayer. So we start with perhaps, and this is the method I have been using for a long time. I do like to read something, kind of puts me into the thing. And then when I close my eyes and drop into my meditation, I start by breathing out. I start with that release, the energy. And then when I've done that, then I can put in God is, I am. I have my little mantra, different ones at different times. And then I just drop into what we're talking about here, the silence, where I just try to be still. This is the space between the thoughts where the divine within is accessible. The silence is a meditative state of prayer. When we sit in the silence, we become receptacles or holy grails to be filled with divine mind. In the silence, we are inspired with fresh resolve, with new creative thought, with solutions to problems, and with the understandings of truth that we need. It seems to me, if all of these things can be offered to me through meditation, why don't I do it, right? Why would I? Okay, here, fresh resolve. I'm feeling frustrated. Nothing's working out. How am I going to get this done? Fresh resolve. New energy, perhaps new zeal. I'm excited about the prospects of the things that I'm involved in. New creative thought, thinking out of the box. That's going to be our next journey here together, because we're still on our prosperity consciousness, folks, and I'll remind us of that at another time. So, but this allows us to be creative, to think out of the box, right? To tap into these divine ideas that are already present, and with the understanding of truth. So, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. This is the first step. This is the first step in meditation. Be still and know that I am God. That could be your mantra. That could be a wonderful mantra for entering the silence. But here it's so clear, isn't it? And Jesus was a Jew and who studied the Old Testament. You know, he studied the Old Testament. He knew these Psalms. A lot of his messages, if we listen carefully, we hear the Psalms in those messages. We really do, you know. And here is one. Close the door, be quiet, listen to God. Be still and know that I am God. That's a starting place. That's where we start. And then the second step is peace be still. Peace be still. So I allow myself to let this peace, because in the silence there is peace. There is peace. There is quiet. We don't need a college degree, a ministerial degree or ordination. We don't need any of those things to practice meditation. All we need is to make a commitment. Make a commitment, make a decision, make a choice. That here we are, Unity Church members, I would say Unity Truth students, as Charles says. And I'm telling you again, if you pick up anything that Charles has written, you will read and hear that it is not enough to just know it up here. We have got to drop into the experiential place. Now, again, all of these ideas he shared about meditation were influenced by the East, and we'll look at some of those ideas. Certainly, you know, the idea of oneness, but they also, I forgot where I was going with that, so, okay. Whew. It's amazing how it was there 1 minute and then it's just completely gone. So that might be my clue. That might be my clue to invite you to join me for a meditation. And I do want to share with you, as we're about to do this together, that you know, normally on a Sunday we do a short meditation, and we're not going to do that today. We're going to do a long one. And the meditation that I want to share with you is not an original one from me, but it actually is a meditation from James Dillett Freeman. And it's a drill in the silence. And one of the things that you're going to find, I feel, as I did when I was doing this, is that this meditation, and it's going to be at least 10 minutes, okay? So just get comfortable. This is a heads up. It's a guided meditation. We're not going to be sitting a long time in the silence, but you're going to be invited to do the process that we just talked about, that Charles Fillmore and Myrtle Fillmore shared. We're going to use these affirmations, and we're going to let them. We're going to see what happens when we go into the silence with those affirmations. And peace be still. So here we go. I invite you now to just close your eyes. In this deeper place of silence, what we're going to do is commune with God. In the silence is strength for the tired body. In the silence is light for the joyless mind. In silence is love for the lonely spirit. In the silence is peace for the troubled heart. There, workaday worries fade away. There, whole being becomes a place of prayer. There, you know God as a living presence and yourself as a child of God. And so now, let's take a deep breath in. And let's just relax. Another breath in, knowing that the breath is this bridge that moves us into the silence. I relax my body and open my mind. I feel my eyes soften, my jaw relax. I feel my shoulders drop and my hands relax in my lap. I feel myself being supported by the chair. I relax my legs and feel my feet planted on the ground, connecting with Mother Earth. I am relaxed from my forehead clear down to my back, to the soles of my feet. I relax, I let go, and let God. I am relaxed, peaceful, confident. I feel the presence of God freeing me from all tension. I let my whole body, every nerve, every muscle, every cell, relax and let go. I am calm, serene, and relaxed. I relax and let go of any and all tension. I relax and let go of tension across my forehead. I relax and let go of any strain I feel in my eyes. I relax and let go of all tension in any part of my body, from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. I am perfectly relaxed. Be still and know that I am God. As I say these words silently, they take on new meaning, a living meaning, and I feel the stillness with my whole mind, my whole being. I feel my unity with God. In the stillness, I unify myself with God. My thoughts and feelings are quieted, and the doors of my senses are shut. It is not through my human powers and understanding that I attain my good, but it is by a letting go of my doubts, by limiting my personal claims, and by turning my whole attention to God. Be still and know that I am God. I know it. I know it now. I turn my attention now to the top of my head as I silently say, I am the light of the world. I am the light of the world. I am still and feel the light of Spirit flowing through me and over me. I am still and I feel myself immersed as in a sea of light. I feel my whole being illuminated, awake, exalted. My body is a rhythm and harmony attuned to music. I stop thinking about my body as unhealthy, in disease. I feel the waves of rhythm and harmony that move in and through this form that I am. I no longer think of myself as form and material. I am light and intelligence and substance. Now I center my attention just above my eyes as I silently say, I am divine intelligence. The only real prosperity that I can have is a rush of ideas. Divine mind is a reservoir of ideas, good ideas, which are mine to draw upon, mine to use. I am not sluggish, physically or mentally. No doubt or fear can remain in me, for I have opened my mind to the inspiration of God. I am alive, awake, alert, joyous, and enthusiastic. I am divine intelligence. Now I center my attention at my eyes as I silently say, I see with the eyes of Spirit. My eyes are the watchful servants of a mind that sees only the perfection of Spirit. All sense of tension or fatigue is dropping away from my eyes before the inflow of divine energy. The scales fall from my eyes. My eyes are strong, clear seeing. My spiritual vision too is renewed. I see the truth more clearly. I see with the eyes of Spirit. I center my attention at my throat as I silently say, all power is given unto me in mind and body. The power of God is working through me to free me from every negative influence. Nothing can hold me in bondage. I am the overcomer, for I am a child of God. All power is mine to control my thoughts, to vitalize my body, to gain success, to bless others. I unleash my spiritual forces. All power is given unto me in mind and body. I now bring my attention to the back of my neck as I silently say, I am free and unlimited. I am free with the freedom of spirit. Negative conditions have no power over me. I am one with the Christ. I am a child of the living God, awake in the consciousness of my Christ mastery. I am poised, free, and unlimited. Now I direct my attention toward my back as I declare, I am strong in God and in the power of God's might. I feel the strength of God pouring through me, strengthening every part of my body temple. I am no longer bowed by burdens, my own, my family's, or the world's. My back is straight and sturdy. I am free, poised, light-hearted, and I face life confidently, strong in God and in the power of God's might. I turn my attention to my heart and declare, I am the perfect expression of God's love. Love transforms. Love transfigures. Love fills my heart with harmony. Love fills my mind with kind, helpful thoughts. Love fills my lips with words of praise and cheer. Love fills my life to overflowing with happiness and peace. Love transforms me. Whatever my need or problem, divine love is the answer, and I am the perfect expression of divine love. I place my attention on the lower part of my abdomen, and I silently say, I am alive forever in the Christ. I have entered the secret place of life. Life fills my mind, flows through my veins, and permeates my tissues. My eyes shine, my skin glows, my faculties are sharpened, my whole body radiates health. I am one with life, the Christ life, ever-renewing life. I am alive forever in the Christ. I center my attention in my feet and legs, and I affirm, I walk in paths of righteousness and peace. The strength and swiftness of God makes my way easy. The light of God's intelligence shines around me so that my way is made plain. God's Spirit goes before me so that my way is made successful. God's way for me is joyous, safe, and secure. I walk in paths of righteousness and peace. I am now fully aware of my oneness with God. I am one with God, for I am a child of God. From the top of my head to the soles of my feet, I feel divine life tingling. My mind is charged with divine power. My heart is lifted by divine love. My whole being is filled with a new sense of peace and satisfaction. I am one with God, for I am a child of God. Now, out of the stillness comes the still small voice, not a human voice speaking, but the voice of God, which speaks as an inner knowing, a strong conviction, and carries to my listening heart the assurances that all is well. Ask, and it will be given you. Search, and you will find. Knock, and the door will be opened for you. I have asked, and blessings are freely coming to me. I have searched, and the way to perfection is being revealed. I have knocked, and the doors of the kingdom are open. Fulfillment is mine. The power to bless others is mine. I am blessed by God as I enter the silence and experience the joy of being in the presence of God. Now take another deep breath in with me. Move your body around a little bit. Bring your attention back to this present moment. And when you're ready, open your eyes.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
And now let's bring up the ushers. This is the time of the service where we get to practice our giving and receiving. And for those of you that are joining us virtually, you too can participate. We'd love to have you be a part of the service in the giving and receiving part of this as well. You can press your donate button on the website, the text to give, or simply mail us a check. And hold your love offerings now in your hand as we say together this affirmation. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, and all that I give and receive.
And peace, be still. Every time I face the waves, I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to be afraid. I don't want to fear the storm just because I hear it roar. I don't want to fear the storm. I don't want to fear the storm. Peace, be still, say the word, and I will set my feet upon the sea till I'm dancing in the deep. Peace, be still, you are here and it is well. Even when my eyes can't see, I will trust the voice that speaks. I'm not gonna be afraid, 'cause these waves are only waves. I'm not gonna be afraid. I'm not gonna be afraid. I'm not gonna fear the storm. You are greater than its roar. I'm not gonna fear the storm. Oh, I'm not gonna fear it all. Peace, be still, say the word, and then I will set my feet upon the sea till I'm dancing in the deep. Peace, be still, you are here and it is well. Even when my eyes can't see, I will trust the voice that speaks. faith rise up. Oh, heart, believe. Let faith rise up in me. Let faith rise up. Oh, heart, believe. Let faith rise up in me. Let faith rise up in me. Oh, faith rise up in me. Let faith rise up in me. Let faith rise up in me. Peace, be still, sing the words, and then I will set my feet upon the sea till I'm dancing in the deep. Peace, be still, you are here and it is well. Even when my eyes can't see, I will trust the voice in me. Peace, peace, oh peace,
That was beautiful. Thank you, Greg. And we didn't even collaborate, but it was peace be still. How beautiful and how appropriate. Okay, let's bring our love offerings up now, and we get to bless them together. We have an affirmation, and I want to invite you all to say it with me. At Unity Church of Raleigh, we are open and receptive to endless supply, manifesting in surprising and wonderful ways. And so it is. Mary, what do we got going on?
Thanks so much for coming out today. Don't you all feel wonderful now? Yes. From the music and the vibrations from Ellen's wonderful meditation, it just took me to whole new heights of freedom. Looking forward to more. Okay, what's going on this week? You can stay and join us for coffee and refreshments today, right after the service. And as a follow-up to last Sunday's prayer circle for Andy, we have some cards over on the tables. While you're having your coffee, take a moment and send them a message. I also put a card out on the table for Pat. Today? Yes. And Ellen just told me we're going to do another prayer circle for them today, right after the service. On Tuesday is our noontime heart-centered living group with Reverend Ellen. This is free. You can come and tune into your hearts and listen to what is resonating and alive in you. The group meets both in person and Zoom, and is from 12 to 1. Next Saturday, January 14th, from 10 to 12, at our Unity Wellness Center, we have our own Reverend Annie Nelson, and Reverend Eugene Holden will be co-presenting with her on a workshop entitled Relationships 101. And we know that scientific studies have shown that happiness comes from true and meaningful relationships. And in this workshop, they will be exploring how to build stronger relationships in life. Tai Chi classes will resume on Monday, January 16th, 6:30 to 8 p.m. And then a new beginner's Tai Chi class will convene starting Thursday, January 19th, from 10 to 11 a.m. And our Wednesday morning yoga class will resume on January 18th, starting at 10 o'clock with Stacy Page. You can get information and details on registration on the Unity Holistic Wellness Center website, which is unityholisticwellnesscenter.org. Next Sunday, everyone is invited to stay after the service for our monthly pizza lunch and teams meeting, and come and find out what the different teams in the church are doing. And we'll also would like you to participate in developing our core teams outreach plan for 2023. Sharon Shadan will be leading that part of the team. So come out, don't miss it. We don't have kids today? Okay. So lastly, we're going to leave our chairs in place today. You don't have to stack them or do anything, so you can go ahead and start enjoying our social hour a bit early. Thanks so much and have a wonderful week.
And now we've come to the end of the service, so let's say our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us.
The light of God surrounds me.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well.
And all is well.
And now let's stand and sing our peace song.
Peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, united all are we. Yes, we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyful vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And as we go out today, remember that you always have the opportunity to be still. Be still and know that I am God. And so it is, amen. Okay. Let's do the prayer circle. I want to do a prayer circle after each of the meditation series, and we do have our board president, Andy Anderson, still in the hospital with a health challenge. And we also have Jan here with us today. And she has an emotional challenge that she's going through that I want to hold her in prayer too. She's just experienced a loss that is very, very painful. And so what we'll do is we'll do a prayer circle right now, and at the end of it, I'll invite everybody to put into this powerful prayer circle anyone that we want to benefit by this prayer. So thank you all for participating. Thank you for joining me in this circle. And let's breathe in and just know and feel. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. That God is present in every moment. There's nothing that we can experience that can block us from this power, from this love, from this truth that God is present. I just have to remember. I just have to remember to open up my mind and heart and let this power, let this light, let this love wash over me. And in this time and place, we know that where 2 or 3 are gathered, there am I, and we know that God is present with us right here, and that prayer is transformative, prayer is powerful. Prayer heals, prayer restores, prayer renews. And we know that we are divine beings, that there is no beginning and no end. We're just here right now in this form, temporarily. And let's breathe in and breathe out and hold Andy in this light as he faces his health challenge. Let's hold Jan in this light as her heart breaks, and know and feel that power of love for her. And now in this circle, let's put anybody who needs healing, who needs love, support, anything that we want to offer, because this is a powerful circle. And now put your name. Bob, Becky, Unity Church of Raleigh. And for this, we are so very grateful, and so it is. Amen. Amen. Okay. Well, thank you all.